where it's just like you would have another 1 here. It'll be 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, like that. The rest of them like that. Out to this has to not exceed 4 million. So you can't have up to 4 million here. So today we're gonna do this together. This is kind of easy, but so I don't have to keep switching windows or put them side by side because I like my windows big. We're gonna put that here like this, and then we're just gonna highlight them all like that, and then make them that, and yeah, we'll organize it like that. Put this it's too far away. So really, it's 1 comma space 1. That's what it's supposed to be. If you looked up the sequence, so basically is the first variable has this number, the second variable has this number, and then it goes on from there. And basically says we want to add the even value terms. Now I haven't done these things in a long time. Back in 2012, the last time I think I've done Project Euler, I didn't even have the same email. I had a Yahoo account. I don't even have a Yahoo account no more. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna figure this out. The first thing is we're gonna need some integers, right? And the integers is pretty cool. And what we're gonna do with the integers, we're gonna name them accordingly. Not x and y, but fib 1, because the first fib, all right, equals 1, right? It's gonna get 1. Now you could do this in the commas. You could do this down the line, but as long as you do it right. So fib 2 is also gonna get 1. If you understand these concepts. Now we're gonna need a sum, and that's gonna equal 0. And then we're gonna need something like yeah, it's kind of hard. This is what I'm dealing with, so it's kind of hard to study with him sometimes. So I don't know what to call the third one. We could go fib sum or something like that. But that's basically what it is. We're gonna leave it like that. We're gonna call it equals 0 2. We'll leave it like that. Now you see all those green lines. That's just because they haven't what they call it, been used inside the program. It's like you declared them, but you ain't use them. Now I don't remember. I'm gonna use a for loop because for me for loops are the easiest. So we're gonna go for and then tab, and then we're literally gonna delete this right here. All right, and we're gonna delete the I++, and we're gonna change this into 4 million 4 1 2 3 1 2 3. So and then this is gonna be fib sum. And why I'm saying fib sum and not the sum, I don't know what just happened. So let's just I swear I just deleted this. So let's try that fib sum right here. So fib sum is less than 4 million. The Fibonacci sum is less than 4 million. That's the first thing you want to do. You got a number. The reason we're not doing I++ is because we got to get this adding up. Okay? So the fib sum is the sum of these two. Right? So let's just go fib sum. Again. Right? Oh, hold on. Oh, yeah, that's right. Get fib 1. That doesn't count. Fib 1 plus fib 2. All right. Now, but what I want to do here, I mean, we could do fib 1 gets fib 2 because that's what we're going to have to. I'm going to explain that in a second. But before I do that, I'm going to do an if statement. Oh, my God. If the fib sum is modulus 2, if that equals 0, that means this modulus, if you don't know what it is a remainder. If the remainder equals 0, if you divide it by 2, that means it's an even number. That's simple. So we want to do sum plus and equals, and that means add sum to sum plus. So if this was 5, it'd be, instead of 0, it'd be 5 plus the fib sum, you know, the sum itself. So if the fib sum was 5, it'd be 5 plus 5 equals 10. But it's not going to be that because it has to be even number. So let me explain what's going on before I go any further. Okay, David, is that what you want to hear? What I'm going to explain? Yes, Daddy, son. You know what I'm saying? Okay, man. So what's going on is in the Fibonacci sequence. I can't even say that. I can't. You're going to have to do that yourself. And the sequence is saying the first two numbers. So that's how you gotta think about it. We need two numbers right away. All right. See, so starting with 1 and 2, they want us to start with 1 and 2. So we literally could do this, but it'll skip the number 2. Maybe that's why. But let's do it like they said. They starting with 1 and 2. The first 10 terms would be 1. Would be 2, 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 5, whatever, right? So that's what they're starting with. By considering the terms of the family sequence, whose values do not exceed from. So in reality, they start with 1 and 1, but we're gonna do 1 and 2. We'll probably get the wrong answer, and then we'll do it 1 and 1 again. So we know that the first two of these is can I do that, or would it mess it up? Oh, okay, good. We know the first two is actually the first two starting numbers. We can put like fib start 1, fib start 2, but that's too long right now. And the fib sum is probably should be before sum, because sum should be the last thing you mess with. And what this is saying right here is, okay, buddy, we want to get these first two numbers. When we add these two numbers together, the sum of these two numbers together has to be even. If it's even, we're going to sum it up with the fib sum right here. Okay, with the sum right here. So this right here, by saying plus equals, is basically saying gets sum plus fib sum. It's the same thing. That's a little bit of a shorthand. I don't know if all the languages have that. All I know is that this language has this. Alright, so with that out the way, what you need to do now is, how do you get fib 1 to be fib 2? Because it's supposed to be, you know, if you read it again, it says you're starting with 1 and 2, right? So what happens is, let's just get this out of here for a second, because we don't need it right now. So you start with the numbers 1 and 2, you add them together, it equals 3. So you take the 2, let me stop pointing. The 1 becomes 2, the 2 becomes the answer 3, or the fib sum 3, right? So we got to change that around. And then when you add 2 and 3 together, it equals 5. Let me put that like this down here. This is a comment block that I'm about to do. I know. Am I right or am I wrong? All right. So basically, the first number 1, right, equals 1, right? Yep. And number 2 equals 2. And then if you add, and then the if you add them together, it equals 3. So you got to get a placement holder. That's the fib sum. So number 3 gets n1 plus n2, right? Okay. So now that you know those two together equals 3, the variable itself is not going to change it. So how do you change that variable? Well, 1 needs to become 2. So n1 needs to become n2. And then n2, or number 2, needs to become the answer of number 3. Now if you see, this is a placement holder. So everything's okay. So what's going on? Why is everything a comment? What did I do wrong? This is right. I did it backwards. There you go. So what basically fib 1, or number 1, is holding it's a holder for the 1. It holds the value of 1. This one holds the value of 2 as an integer. So it's declared as an integer, as a number, a whole number. So when you do that, all of these are integers. So when you do that, this, which is number 3, let's do that like that. So it can make more sense and look cooler. We're gonna go here, and we're gonna press Control V, comma, space, and then we're gonna delete that last comma because it's giving us an error, right, David? And then we do this right here, and then everything is placed nicely. But dude, we're coding. Look at the camera. Say, yeah, Dad, that's right. Okay, so what we're saying is that this has nothing. It holds a value of nothing. This has a value of 1. This one has a value of 2. If you add 1 and 2 together, it equals 3. Now this is holding 3. But before we go any further, we need to see if the answer of these two is even. By doing that, we gotta say, hey, is 3 even? No. because divided by 2 is like I don't know the answer by heart. Let's look at what the remainder looks like. Bam. So 3 divided by 2 equals 1.5. So you got a 0.5 remainder, and that's what it's saying. Yo, no, that's not right. So, you know, it's not going to add here. So then now, like I said, these numbers have to change. So now, we call it fibula. It's be fib 1, right? Gets fib 2. And we're just changing where displacement is held. Okay? So now the place, because we're inside a for loop, so it's going to continue until it's less than 4 million. So now this first number, or N1, becomes number 2, like we did here. And then N2 becomes N3, which for us, our number 3 is fib sum. Yeah, fib sum, buddy. And lastly, the only thing we need to do now is print out after everything is what the sum is going to be. So let's get out of this loop. Oh, did I just? Yeah, I just closed that out wrong. I meant to do that. So you type in CW and press tab twice, and then you put sum. I'm just gonna put sum. You can put the sum is. Listen. Okay, all right. So this should be the answer, unless because I got I don't have 2 in there, so we might be missing 2. Oh, you just pooping? We might be missing fib 2, so we might be missing the 1 plus 1 equals 2, so it might be off by 2. We might be. So let's save that. I press Control S to save it. Now we're gonna console log app it. And it's, okay, stop. You want to fight me? This might be wrong, but let's look up see if it's wrong. Yeah, I know, but let's find out. So I think that's right, but I could be wrong. So I was wrong. So it's not that. Okay, so it's not that. So let's go back and put fib 1 because 2 is even, right? And let's see if that's the answer. Why? You got a code. Let's see if we got the right answer. Did I not get the right answer? You telling me or you showing me? All right, look, it's gonna crop out. So that has a 2 in it. All right. I might be wrong still. All right, we got it right. See, it was missing the number 2. It was missing the number 2. But you see what happens? They told us to start with 1 and 2. So this question is kind of like, you know, people get it wrong because of that. Like, first time I did this, 2012 was it, when I was in Iraq with JavaScript? I got it wrong for the same reason. I remember it clear as day. So the way they worded it was kind of confusing too. So let's look at the wording. Like, let's look. Each term now in the Fibonacci. So which term is it talking about? Like, hey, did you poop in? Okay. All right, come on. Let's go 9. Are you ready, 9? Okay, let's go 9. So Coding with David is done now. And he wanted to say thank you so much for listening to his dad and him cry. For real? Talk to me, David. So that's pretty much that. And I'm going to close this out. This is a simple thing. But before we close out, let's look at the wording. Okay, David? I was thinking like it meant each term here. So I was like, my sum was a lot bigger the first time I ever did this. But now, you know, I figured it out. And the first time I did this today, I was wrong because I didn't have the 2. And then I said, well, I was reading up on what the Fibonacci sequence is, and it starts with 1. The number 1 should be 1, and number 2 should be 2. So then this one becomes 2, and this one becomes 3. So you see what I'm saying? So it kind of like messed it up for me. But that's what it is. And if you wanted to see what it was, the sum or you wanted to see what fib sum was all about each time, and you just put fib sum right here, and then tab, and then Control S, and we'll play it again over here, and this will come back up, and it'll give you the answers, but all the way down to all the even ones. You see? So that's that. And yeah. So and then the sum would just be this last one without the C though. Alrighty then. Thanks for coming in and tuning into Pal 78 Man and David. Because we're coding with David. Coding with David.